Wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. All praise is due to Allah. May Allah's peace and blessings be on the last prophet of Allah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and on all the prophets of Allah and on all those who seek the path of righteousness until the last day. The title of this evening's presentation is Popular Misconceptions about Islam or about Muslims. This topic is actually a very vast topic, and the time that we have this evening is somewhat limited, especially considering that we're starting, about half an hour late. What I'm going to do is divide that topic into two basic areas. One concerning belief, that is misconceptions held by non-Muslims concerning Muslim beliefs. And the other section will be misconceptions concerning the practices of Muslims. And even these practices will themselves be divided according to those practices which have a religious origin to them, as well as those practices which may be defined as purely social, cultural practices. Now, beginning with the area of Muslim beliefs and the misconceptions surrounding them. And as I said, I will not attempt to cover all of the misconceptions because we would be at it all night if we were to try to do that. I will just cover the major ones which I have found repeated quite often, and perhaps during the question and answer session after the presentation, if you have some other questions that you would like to raise concerning Islamic beliefs or practices that you feel you might have some misconceptions with regards to, then you may raise them and perhaps we may be able to find some answers for you. So as I said, we'll begin with beliefs. The first misconception concerns the concept of God. Most non-Muslims, Westerners or Easterners, are familiar with the idea that Muslims call their God Allah, or it's usually pronounced in the West as Allah. We pronounce it actually as Allah. The idea that they hold usually is that somehow this God that Muslims believe in is a different God. Christians have a God, and Muslims have another God, who they call Allah. The fact is that God, when we talk about the creator, sustainer of the universe, that God is the same God. The God whom Muslims worship is the creator and sustainer of the universe. And even the name itself, Allah, it is an Arabic word which means the one and only God who alone deserves to be worshipped. And that is an idea which is shared by most people. God, the one true God, is the only one who really should be worshipped. And this is what the term Allah means. So whether you call God Jehovah, or in Korean Hanonim, or whatever you call him, as long as you're talking about that one creator and sustainer of the universe, then we're talking essentially about the same God. And this God, from an Islamic perspective, is not in any way a special God of Muslims. As you may find in the Old Testament, where God is referred to as the Lord God of Israel, where when you read many of the texts, it gives you the impression that the God here is like a special God of Israel. He's the God only of Israel. There's nobody else's God. And because of that, the people of Israel became the chosen children of God. They had special rights that nobody else had. This is not the Islamic concept. No, God is God of the universe. He is not a God of any special people or place, etc. The second misconception concerning beliefs is that Islam is a new religion. It's usually referred to in books as the latest of the three great monotheistic religions or faiths. This is how it is usually referred to. The latest. It's new. However, Islam does not consider itself to be new. The Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, never claimed that he was bringing a new religion. And if you read the book of Revelation, which Muslims follow, the Quran, from beginning to end, you will not find anywhere where Islam is referred to as a new religion. In fact, what you find is God saying that Islam was the religion of Abraham, it was the religion of Adam, it was the religion of David, of Solomon, and of all the prophets, those whom we know as well as those whom we do not know. That Islam was in fact the religion, the true religion of God revealed to man. And if one were to compare the pillars of faith in Islam with those held, for example, by Christianity, what you would find is in fact they are parallel. Islam has a specific or specifically defined set of pillars which are called the pillars of faith. You have the pillars of Islam in terms of practice. I'm sure some of you have heard of the 5 pillars of Islam. One is the declaration of faith. Second one being prayer, this compulsory prayer, and the Hajj, going to make pilgrimage to Mecca, and giving zakah, that is compulsory charity, and fasting in the 9th month of the lunar calendar, known as Ramadan. These are the 5 pillars of Islam. But then you have along with that 6 pillars of Iman. Now these 6 pillars are, first, belief in Allah, belief in the one God. Second, belief in the angels of God.